Testing. Okay, here we go. Woo! Weird little audio problem I noticed, but I think I fixed it, so I think we're good. Welcome to Faire Life. We'll call that a little pre-Halloween trick. and now you get to hear me, so I'll leave that to you whether that's the treat or not. But hello everyone. Hey, so we have hey Kevin, Jan, and Chris, and Alicia's joined us, so that's wonderful, and Sarit and Kurt and Carol, and wow, okay, Damaris, and woo, okay, good. So welcome back to Faire Life. And yeah, so a little early Halloween. Yeah, hey, hopefully it's a happy Halloween for everyone and something to look forward to. It's still a day early, so not too bad, but that's okay, because Halloween definitely needs some planning and some strategy. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But yes. Oh, and hey, Drew. And hey, yeah, it is. Woo! We made it back for another Halloween, and considering how crazy the year has been, it's always a treat. And the interesting news now, at least for me over here in Austin, is the weather is cold. We finally got our first cold front of the year, and it's down in the 40s right now. Down here, it'll get up into the 50s tomorrow, but yeah, it's actually cold. So this Ren Fair garb feels nice, warm, and comfortable for once. So that's always a nice bonus, which is great, because this week I'm heading off to the Louisiana Ren Fair for 6 weeks. So yeah, I'll be back at Faire, enjoying it. So I'll be doing this show on the road. So for the next 6 weeks, you won't get to see this background, unless I take a picture and then put it behind me. I could do that for the fun of it, but maybe we'll save that for next Halloween. So yeah, it sounds like it's all all cold where y'all are too. Yeah, excellent. Oh wow, cold in Atlanta as well. Yeah, I mean it's nice. It's, considering how hot it's been through the summer, I'm not opposed to some cold. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really enjoying this, and while it's going to be pretty warm this weekend, from what I can tell, still get up into the upper 70s for the fair, and at least Louisiana, and I believe the Texas Renaissance Festival and all those, the weather's supposed to be gorgeous, so we'll get to enjoy that. It'll be warm, but it won't be hot, and that is how I like it. Oh wow, yeah, it has. There was some snow around, from what I hear, so that should be interesting. And yeah, the Austin Celtic Festival. That is, yeah. I because I do the Louisiana Fair. It's been a long time since I've been to the Austin Celtic Festival. Because of that, it just there was always a conflict. So yeah, that's sort of the way it goes sometimes. You gotta pick and choose your battles, and Austin Celtic Festival is 1 weekend, Louisiana is 6. So it was kind of that's kind of how you make those decisions. Ooh, 42 degrees as the high in Chicago. Well, woo, I understand. Earlier this year, I was in April. I was in Chicago and was at Wrigley Field on opening day because I was up there for a convention, and the timing just worked out. So I got to go see that, and that was freaking cold. You had all these baseball fans wearing, short sleeve shirts, and I was all bundled up, freezing my butt off. You Northerners are a hardy group. I'm going to tell you that. You really, you do well. You do really well. Oh yes, and Alicia, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, do like and share the stream if you get a chance. Yeah, actually, here, let's go ahead and do the little graphic. There you go. Yeah, I haven't done the graphic in a while, so there you go. Just a little nice friendly reminder to subscribe and like. Yeah. Whew. Oh, okay. So you're going to be going to the Louisiana Fair? Excellent. I look forward to it. Yeah, I mean, it is always a fun time. I'm going to be heading up there in a couple of days, and I'm. This is going to be different because I've got an Airbnb this time, so should be a different experience. It's just going to be me. So I'm usually I go up there and I stay with 5 or 6 plus other people, other performers, and now it's just me. So I'll actually get some privacy. Radical concept, I know. You're not wrong, Damaris. You're not wrong. We are hardy, especially when it comes to the heat. But up north, that cold weather can really kick my butt. I'm not gonna lie. I am a serious wuss when it comes to snow and dealing with that because I'm really just not used to it. I know my limitations. It would take me a few years to kind of get to that point where I was comfortable with with dealing with snow. I've really trained myself physically to be used to heat and to be able to go out and play a 30-minute show in 90 plus degree weather. So, you got to do that. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Chris. Yeah, you kind of get used to those things, and that's true with most things. It's what you're used to. If you're used to it, you don't stress over it too much. It's the unknown that is the most scary, which brings us back to Halloween. Speaking of scary, so is any of y'all doing some cool stuff for Halloween, or is it going to be pretty relaxed? Oh, right. Yes, you've got that middle ground, Alicia, going through. Any great Halloween plans for anyone? I mean, for me, I'm going to be traveling. I'm getting all prepared tomorrow, and I'm Wednesday morning. Boom, I'm gone. I'm heading out. So not really much in the way of Halloween plans for me, to be honest about it. Although I might leave a little later on Wednesday morning and stick around for one of my favorite holidays that we'll talk about later too. Oh, okay, Harvey, painted your porch for the holiday. That's sometimes that's I know a lot of people that like to do that. They treat holidays as an opportunity to get things done that they've had to put off, but they really want to get done, and they feel a big sense of accomplishment when they do that. And for them, that's a successful holiday. Others, they want to treat a holiday as a vacation, a chance to relax or spend time with family. So I get it. I mean, there's no right or wrong. So I totally respect that. Driving for Halloween in costume. Damaris, I like it. I like it. That's always good. Yep, do the classic handing out candy. I totally respect that. Oh, okay. The pirate giving out candy at a friend's home. It is interesting to do sort of a Robin Hood type pirate where you're giving candy as opposed to taking it. I appreciate the irony. Carved a pumpkin, ate the soup and pie. Nice. Yeah, interesting thing for me, the only type of pie I actually like is pumpkin pie. Blueberry pie, no, not a fan. Apple pie, no. I cobbler, no. I mean, I just pumpkin pie, and it only kind of like. So, yeah, always a big fan. Oh, yeah, that's always the tough one. Finding the ingredients. And in different parts of the country, that can be hard sometimes. Oh, yeah, I totally agree. It does sound yummy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, for those of you that aren't traveling, for you that are, do be safe. But for those that aren't, yeah, have a good time. I mean, enjoy it. I mean, I guess I should go ahead and do the. See, I think I put that. Yeah, there you go. Nice little happy Halloween graphic. I know. Uh, it is scary and sad. I can be very finicky when it comes to food, but believe it or not, I'm a lot better now than I used to be. And my friends and family will back me up on this. I used to be very, very finicky with food. There's a lot of foods I would not touch. But thanks to good, solid friends who would push me and say, no, you should try this. I really tried a lot of different things and really opened up my palate a bit. So hey, keep trying. You never know. I mean, I can still change. So please don't force cobbler down my throat. But hey, yes, sweet potato a pie can be pretty good too. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I would say yeah. The taste isn't quite the same, and but I can eat that. That one works. I mean, I can eat pie. It's not that it's an allergy or anything, or it's a texture thing where I have trouble keeping it down. It's just not my favorite. But I could eat it if, yeah. I'm just not a fan of cherries, so that ruins a bit. And cooked apples, I've never really been a fan. I know, I'm weird. Raw apples are great, but cooked, not so much. Yes, those classic quests of hunting candy. I like it. Oh, nice. That's good. That sounds like fun. As long as you have a strategy, I respect that. I respect that. Nope. Actually, I don't like sour tastes. So, good guess. Good try, Kurt. But yeah, anything sour like lemon or lime, not a fan. I don't even like. I mean, I love iced tea, being a Southerner, but I don't like lemon in it or lime juice. Won't do it. So yeah, nope, nope, no, nothing like that. Ah, yes, the candy corn. Yes, the classic. Let me see. Do I have? Let me see. Maybe. There we go. There's some candy corn for you. Yes, gotta love the candy corn. Gotta love the candy corn. And pecan pie. Uh, I, I like the nuts, but not so much pie. I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah. And that is an interesting point. I mean, I in America we kind of get wrapped up in this concept of we're the center of the universe in so many ways. So we just think that our this is the way it is. And yeah, there's a lot of candies that are in other countries, but we have no knowledge of. We've never experienced, and they're staples in other countries. So it can be very regional, very much so. Oh, okay, okay. Brussels sprouts and chocolate on. Okay, you're not wrong, Kathy. Yeah, candy corn. There are a variety of flavors. I mean, I think people tend to think about the original, that's kind of the classic and what we're used to. I had a friend in college who she was um, obsessed with candy corn. She just loved it. That was her favorite treat, favorite sweet. And yeah, it was definitely weird. I don't know. I mean, it to me now, candy corn tastes so almost artificial. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it kind of has a waxy artificial taste to me now. But I think that's partly because I've tasted so many other things to compare it to. Yeah, I don't know. It's just very different. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll have to try that. That sounds interesting. Really? I don't think I've really checked that out at Costco before. I may have to take a look. That's interesting. I didn't realize they were kind of doing the whole world market approach and having treats from others, because that's usually what I'd go to world market for. Ah, the jelly babies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My first experience with jelly babies was back on an old episode of Doctor Who, where they were a popular treat for one of the early doctors. So that's where I first heard about it. Yeah, and I know people that just can't stand candy corn. I mean, and it's all taste. There's no right or wrong with taste. Everybody's different. Everybody's got different taste buds. So perfectly reasonable. Right? World market. I mean, there aren't as many as some of them have closed in recent years. I think the pandemic sort of started that a little bit, unfortunately. So there aren't as many. I used to go to it more than I do now, unfortunately. But if I can find one where I will definitely stop by. The Brocs. Yes, yes. And that's the other thing. Everybody has their favorite candy company, whether it's Cadbury or Brock's or Russell Stover's or something like that. The different companies, um, Nestle or something like that. Ah, yes, that is always good. Yeah, it is interesting how much the American Halloween has influenced the rest of the world. It yeah, I mean, it kind of the whole All Hallows Eve concept. It was yeah, it kind of got big in America in the 1800s thanks to thanks to Irish immigrants and influencing it from Celtic harvest festivals and adding a lot of touches of that. So a lot of it, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of odd because it's one of the few holidays that actually does can kind of trace itself a little bit back to Renaissance or medieval times. So it kind of works well for Ren fairs, but at the same time, a lot of the traditions are all very modern. I mean, it's not. Um, there are elements that are old, but a lot of them are. A lot of what you associate with Halloween are not traditional. So it's kind of weird. It's just very odd. Uh, it's a very very odd holiday. I mean, it's kind of a religious holiday, but then kind of not. It's you can look at it as a pagan holiday. You can look at it as a Christian holiday. You can look at it as not a holiday or not a religious holiday at all. It's an interesting holiday in that there's a lot of aspects to it that sometimes run counter to each other, and a lot. I don't. There aren't many holidays that can say that. Uh, right, right, definitely. Oh yeah, the Werther's caramels, totally. Yeah, yeah, those are always good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know some countries don't follow it at all, but it's surprising. I think some of the ones that do. So yeah, some of them just embrace it. I think the best thing about Halloween is it's just a fun holiday. I mean, especially with how in the last 10, 20 years, people have really started to embrace the whole dressing up thing more than they used to. And I think partly because of social media, it's really increased that dynamic a lot. That's made a big difference. But yeah, I mean, the whole dressing up thing is huge, and you can just dress up and have parties. It can be great for adults to just have an excuse to throw a party, but then it's a great thing for the kids too. So a lot of holidays aren't as good for different ages, and this one really works that way. I like that. I actually did. If you look at I wasn't going to kind of repeat this because I went over all of this last year, a year ago on Fairlife. I did a whole episode on the history of Halloween and talked about it. So I was trying to stay away from that and not dive too heavily in that. But yeah, I mean, there definitely is a bit of a history. Um, yeah, I mean, it really was more like a pagan holiday turned into a kind of a Christian holiday, turned into it was just one of many. And then it kind of got embraced with the Irish immigrant. I mean, I can go deep into it, but I mean, yeah, look it up. It is interesting that the progression is surprising. It is. Oh yeah, and you get some of the cities, and especially in the U.S., that have either some sort of a dark history or a goth or macabre aspect to it, and just for tourism, they've embraced Halloween to in a big way, and it's served them well. You can kind of get that. Yeah, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Ah, well, yes. Well, now, of course, for me, I mean, the whole aspect of Halloween, there. I always think of the day after Halloween, which is why I was thinking about maybe leaving a little late on Wednesday for my drive over to Louisiana, because when you get to All Hallows Day, or if you prefer All Saints Day, November 1st, it's also my favorite holiday, Cheap Candy Day. Yeah, yeah. So that's all. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, there you go, Kevin. Cheap Candy Day. It is the best because everybody, I mean, no, it varies year to year. Some years they really have an oversupply of candy, and other years they sell out before the end of the night, so they don't really have that much to discount. It kind of varies, but it's worth checking out. And different stores are different. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's usually worth going to some of the. Sometimes you can get lucky on Halloween night late because you'll get places like the grocery stores and everything. Some of them will discount it, starting at like 8 or 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or something like that before they close. They'll go ahead and start discounting it, and you can buy it cheap right then. And they'll still put stuff on sale the following day, and it's usually half off, something like that, which is not bad at all, especially just for the quantity. I mean, usually what you're buying, you're paying a little too much. It's usually a little overpriced. Halloween candy normally is for how much you're getting. But when you start getting it half off, then it's like, well, this is a decent value. And the beautiful thing is, if you can wait a couple of days, because sometimes, if you go to someplace like CVS or Walgreens or something like that, one of the pharmacies, that they'll keep reducing it. So the next day it'll be half off. The day after that, it'll be like 60 or 70% off, and then the day after that will be like 75% off. I mean, they often do things like that. So it really starts to get pretty cool. So anyway, it's a good strategy. Um, right? Right? I try to find good pictures. I really do. It's the important thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I really think they've started. It was I think what happened was with the pandemic, everybody had too much. So since 2020, they've started really scaling back and how much they buy for the buyers, how much they buy for the stores. So they've been fairly conservative the last few years. I know. So Target, Walmart, places like that, it's not. You don't normally get quite the deals. That's why, for me, it's best to try to find those off the beaten track pharmacies. Those are the ones that still seem to get the best deals. It's hit or miss, but if you can find one that just isn't frequented a lot, it's not on a main corner or street. People go there, but it's mainly convenient for people to get their prescriptions, and that's it. It's just it's not a high traffic store. That's what you're looking for, and then they're the ones that are most likely to still have some candy remaining. So that's the strategy. That's how it works. Right, right. Yeah, you're not wrong. Some candies they have at certain times of the year for these holidays, whether it's Valentine's Day or Easter or Halloween, and then that's about it. They're not as easy to find the other times of the year. Yeah, time's been flying. Well, we're talking about candy, and when you talk about candy, that's how it works. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah. 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 Candy. Now, remember, this is an important thing now. Chocolate, even if it's past its expiration, you can go for 6 to 8 months past expiration if it's kept in a freezer. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. It's a good safety tip. Good safety tip. So, yeah, I mean, anybody else? What was your favorite candies when you were kids? Or now, too? I mean, if they've changed. I mean, for me, when I was a kid, I liked the little chocolate bars, like the Snickers. That was one of my favorites, and Kit Kats. I think those candies really lended them well to smaller sizes. Some of the others don't as well, but those really did. I really liked the taste, so that was sort of on my short list of favorites. Now, actually, it's probably about the same. I mean, I'd probably add in some others like Twix or M&Ms are always good, and but one thing I appreciate is some of the more exotic ones, like the small little Rolos or something like that you just don't really see much at all. So I mean, that's kind of nice, just to kind of get something that you wouldn't normally get. But yeah. Oh, Reese's Pumpkin. Oh yeah. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, totally. Oh, the whatchamacallit bars? Yeah, classic. Yeah, Reese's M&Ms. Yeah, M&Ms, you're not alone. I think that is I don't know if that's the most popular, but it's on the short list for sure. Because everybody loves M&Ms pretty much. Crunchy bars, interesting. Peanut butter M&Ms, Reese's Pumpkins. Okay. Well, normally they have it on the main bag. That this is how long this is good for. Just to make sure that you're aware. They usually do put an expiration. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's a code that they put on the UPC right along with that you can kind of look at the code, and there are ways to decode what the date is. But yeah, there are several different ways. Some of them they actually just post it. It's like expiration date, boom, good until. So yeah, they do that. Paydays. Those are surprisingly good. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. A marshmallow lover. I totally get that. Always liked marshmallows as a kid. So yeah. But I'm not really a Peep fan, so never really in the spring. Yeah, surprisingly. Not a candy fan? Really? I would have lost that bet. Right? Right? And thankfully, we have our drinking expert here. So thanks, Alicia. Okay, Clark bars. Interesting. Yeah, I've had a Clark bar before, but I don't see them much down here. So you don't see. Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, down here in the South, I don't see Clark bars very much. I think that's more of a northern uh, wheat because yeah, I don't see them. I mean, I might be wrong. I just haven't noticed, but they're not prominently displayed. Okay, yeah, and some people prefer more the bitter, salty type taste as opposed to sweet. I mean, that's a taste bud thing. Totally reasonable. Totally reasonable. Zero bars. Wow. For my father, I think it was always moon pies. So yeah, so taste buds. They often skip generations. Let's say that moon pies. They're okay, but I didn't love them like he did. Okay, peanut butter kisses. You're right. Interestingly, some things, they force an expiration date, and sometimes it's total bullocks. I mean, it's not they just have to put in, because of rules, they have to put a date, but in reality, it could last a lot longer than that and probably does. It depends on what we're talking about, but yeah, it can be a little weird. But no, safety is important, so I'm not complaining. I think it's a good idea. And modest too, very modest, Damaris, very modest. But no, anyway, so yeah, that's the good strategy for cheap candy. Keep it in mind. If you do have any pharmacies, or even check your grocery store. If you need groceries, hey, use this as an excuse to go out on tomorrow night or Wednesday morning and just check it out, see what they have. You never know. They might have that candy that reminds you of your youth, and for half off. So it's worth checking. You never know. You never know. Well, let's go ahead and jump to the Faire list real quick before it gets too late. Yeah, not too many. Well, we're starting to get to the lower side. I think we've got, 13 fairs? So not too many left, but we'll check it out. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Let's get the cat-friendly version up. Here we go. Yay! Okay. You'll notice that the fairs are starting to get a little more southern because of the winter and everything coming. So yes, not quite all of those northern fairs that we had just a few weeks ago. Kind of interesting, but that's how it works, and reasonably so, because we're starting to get some cold weather. And while it's snowing up north, not too bad down south. We'll start with the Delaware Renaissance Fair in Townsend, Delaware. This is the second out of 3 weekends, so halfway through. Then jumping down to Vikings Con in La Plata, Maryland. Just 1 weekend. I was on the fence about this one. It was, because they call it a con, a Vikings Con, and I thought, well, if this is indoors, I'm not including it on the list. But they hold it at a fairgrounds location there, and it is. If you look at their website, they list it as it's sort of a combination of taking the best from what Ren fairs have and some of the best things that conventions have and putting them together. And okay, I can respect that. I haven't been, but from what I can tell with the pictures, it seems like it's more Ren fair than convention. So for now, it stays on the list until I hear differently. So anyway, that's my justification, and I'm sticking with it. Down here next, we have the Carolina Renaissance Festival in Huntersville, North Carolina. This is the 6th weekend out of 8, and the theme is Pirates Christmas Week. That's an interesting choice. Okay. Then jumping over, or I guess, let's just go down to Florida. Starting off with the Lady of the Lakes Renaissance Fair in Tavares, Florida. This is the first out of 3 weekends. And they have a preview day on Friday. Then going down to Sarasota Medieval Fair in Miaka City, Florida. This is first out of 4 weekends. And the theme is Exciting English Excursions. And then going down into Southern Florida, we have Camelot Days Medieval Festival. And that's in Hollywood, Florida. And that is the first out of 3 weeks. Then jumping up to Kentucky, we have the Fenrir Viking Festival. This is in Eminence, Kentucky, and it's held at the same site as the Kentucky Highland Renaissance Festival fairgrounds up there. So it's they know what they're doing, but they're theming a Viking festival for the Kentucky Ren Fair. So this is 1 weekend only, Friday to Sunday, and this is the first time trying it, so we'll see how that goes. Then jumping down to Tennessee, we have the Appalachian Renaissance Fair of Tennessee in Greenville. Just 1 weekend there. Then we have where I'm going this weekend, the Louisiana Renaissance Festival in Hammond, Louisiana. The first out of 6 weekends, and the theme is Romance and Masquerade. So we're definitely going to be seeing some Buttercup and Dread Pirate Roberts, I think, this weekend. So I'll keep an eye out. Going over to Oklahoma, we have the Oklahoma City Renaissance and Scottish Festival in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 1 weekend only. Then going down, we have the Texas Renaissance Festival is still going on in Todd Mission, Texas, and that's the fifth weekend out of 8, and the theme is heroes and villains. And I know Drew's going to be there. Then jumping over to the Southeast Texas Renaissance Fair in Kirbyville, Texas. This is 4th out of 5 weekends, and the theme is a Celtic adventure. And then going over to Southern California, we have the Escondido Renaissance Fair in Escondido, California. And this is the second weekend that it's going on, and the last. So the second out of 2. And that is all. So, woohoo! So, yep, Drew will be out there. So something to look forward to. Oh, hello, Gypsy. Thanks for joining us. Oh, excellent. You'll be at the Louisiana Fair. Excellent. Excellent. Thanks. That'll be great to see you. Okay. Well, woohoo! And we're back. So yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. It's already 7:38. It's surprising how much you can talk about candy. It really is not at all. Because let's be honest, we can talk about candy for another hour and not even be trying. It's really, really, really easy. Oh, good. Please. Yeah, Louisiana it's a fun fair. It really is. It's one of my favorites. Always has been. It's just, it's one of those that they did a lot of things right. I think some of it was unintentional, but the land just worked out that way, where it was, yeah. I mean, some of the intentional stuff was good too, but it's grown in a very good way. So I like it. I know, I'm a bad influence. I mean, we've known that, so that's fair. Yeah, totally agree, Kurt. Yes. And yeah, I mean, there are some really cool fairs going on. Texas Run Fair, still one of the big ones that is going on for another few weeks. So that's always nice. It tends to go on through late November, and it is that's an interesting fair. So it's definitely one that I think everyone should see. There are a few fairs out there that I really like, that I think, oh, this is charming, you will like this fair. But there are a few fairs that I think, whether you like it or not, you should at least go and check it out. And TRF, Texas Renaissance Festival, is one of those. It is, it's a lot of people. It's very big. Some people don't like that because it's too big. But I think you should at least check it out once. Definitely. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get everybody to LARF. I'm into Louisiana. It's a fun little fair. It really is. It's just, it's one of those fairs that it's a decent size, but it feels larger than it actually is because it kind of surrounds a small little lake. So because of that, it's more spread out than a fair normally would be. But you also get the great view of the water and all of that. It's very nice. Very nice. Minnesota's another one I think everyone should go to and check out at least once. And surprisingly enough, the person that founded Minnesota also founded Texas. Yeah, so they were doing something right, I guess. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And that's true with a lot of fairs. But the larger the fair, the more walking. I mean, that's yeah. It depends on your strategy. If you want to take it slow and spend the whole weekend at the fair, you can take it a little slow and you don't have to rush. But if you're doing one day at a big fair, you got to do a lot of walking to be able to see at least a good percentage of it. So it's tough. It's tough. I'll worry. We're already pretty late, Chris. We'll worry about music. That will probably be a big part of the next month's shows because I'll be at my Airbnb, so I'll have a little time to get all of that together and make that work. So, yeah, the interesting thing is going to be trying to see how the internet is there and see what I can make work. That's going to be the challenge. And there are some interesting possibilities. I'll be working on it. So, yeah, we'll see. Worst case scenario, we should at least be able to get Facebook going and maybe not YouTube. But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. But okay, well, I will let all of you go now and enjoy your Halloween and have a great week. I'm going to be on the road for a bit during the week to travel to Louisiana, but I will see you next week, and I should have some good stories and interesting tidbits to tell you about the Louisiana Fair. So look forward to telling you about that. Have a great week. Enjoy, and don't fill up too much on candy. Enjoy. Have a fair life. Bye.